Only 0-0 gets us to extra time. A draw with goals, Vancouver advances. Otherwise, a clear winner would advance. Ball played forward. An early goal, though, could certainly open things up for both of these clubs. Forced foul. That didn't take long, did it? Just a few seconds?
Sure not. And coming into this game, JP, both first legs in the Western Conference ending in zeros. And we were saying it would be incredibly tough for this one to end in zeros tonight because the Seattle Sounders have scored in their last 13 home league matches. In their last 3, they scored 3+ goals. It couldn't be zeros, right?
Nope. You wouldn't think. It's back for Stefan Fry, very experienced goalkeeper. Goalkeeper of the Year candidate, along with Tim Melia and Andre Blake. Torres to the right side, clear down. And an early collision there with Parker and Will Bruin, two guys that could see a lot of each other in this matchup tonight. Battle of big center backs on both sides. Bruin has scored 6 playoff goals with Houston.
And we asked Will Bruin yesterday, what do you make of the center back pairing for the Vancouver Whitecaps? And he said, they're both big boys. And he knows it's going to be a very physical night for him.
Jovan Jones will play it ahead. Nuhu. Rolled on. Into the middle it comes, Lodero. With those two playing side by side, Lodero will be a little bit in front of them. More offensive freedom, so Roldan may have to do a bit more defensively. Back the other way to Chera. Chipping it ahead. Flag stays down. No, it's up now on Jordi Reyna. We'll see how Reyna goes tonight. He and Teixeira were battling some minor injuries. Played as subs the other night. Toronto Red Bull on Sunday. 2 road goals for Toronto. Upfield. Ball played in. Oh, Dempsey was open, but was cut off by Waston. Big time play there. It's going to be a corner, first one for Seattle. Here in the 3rd minute, the big targets going forward, including Chad Marshall. So good in the air. Played to the near post. It bounces free. Quick shot. Blocked inside the box. Seattle will push it back. Nuhu now on this right side off of that set piece. He goes down, no foul called. Too far for Bolaños. Otherwise, Vancouver could have countered.
No, and you're exactly right, JP, because in that moment, if that pass is a good one, Seattle were caught 2 against 1 defensively, and that will be what Brian Schmetzer wants to avoid tonight. You cannot give the ball away in key areas, especially when you've committed numbers to the attack. So if Vancouver can get that pass right, they might be able to find some success.
Bolaños for Nosa Igabor, Nigerian international. Started the last game, only started 1 game in the regular season. They got him in September. Nuhu will push it upfield. He tried to find Will Bruin. It is settled by the Whitecaps. Pushed over by Waston. Parker. Those two center backs have formed quite the chemistry since being paired together. Off the chest of Marshall. Sounders collect in their own half. They'll go back to Stefan Fry. Fry set a club record with 13 shutouts this season. 9 of those came at home. Whitecaps with Reyna trying to settle. He could not. Nuhu picks it back up. Pushing it up the wing. Seattle will keep possession. Lodero moving it. On the run, Jones tucking it inside. Numbers in the box for Seattle, but they'll push it back towards Lodero. The crafty number 10 in the green and blue of Seattle will hold. Lodero was immense last year in the playoffs during that MLS Cup run. Jones with a cross inside, that's cut off. Seattle almost got to that next ball. Now they will. Roldan coming through. Tackle away. Should be another corner for Seattle. First one on this side, second for them.
And it's good play by Roldan and as well with Parker. Look at his first touch through traffic, takes him past De Jong, who'd already committed. And then Tim Parker using that speed to stay with him step for step. Another corner for Seattle. Now, as this game goes on, I expect them to mix it up on set pieces because putting it in the box, Vancouver's so good defending.
That corner. And the Whitecaps with Reyna will take off. Reyna still on the move. And this time he lost it. Torres will push it back. Fry moving it. Halfway line area. Will Bruins on the chase. Parker collects. Sounders with it. MLS on FS1, sponsored by Audi and the Audi Player Index Award. Visit MLSsoccer.com/Audi to see who stood above the rest. Ball switched to Jovan Jones, Trinidad and Tobago international. It is settled and then driven in wide by Dempsey.
Marinovic is furious at his defenders in front of him there because it just allows Clint Dempsey to turn and face up. And that was something Tim Parker said to us yesterday that you can't allow him to do. And he has a pop there. Marinovic knows that that one is going wide, but wasn't 100% sure because he has a quick look over his shoulder and that ball was knuckling. It was moving all over the place. Clint Dempsey is not afraid to shoot from those distances.
Dempsey with 12 goals during the regular season. 3 of those were game winners. Off Gazal. Jones coming back the other way for the Sounders. 5 on the attack, but Vancouver have numbers back. Sent into the box. Cleared in the air by Parker. Igabor leading it, pushing it wide left. Intended for Montero. Torres will move it ahead. Scoreless here in the 8th minute. Second of 2 legs. First leg was scoreless. Vancouver or Seattle can advance with a win. Vancouver with a draw if there are goals scored. Played in front, knocked out. Another corner, third one for Seattle.
This is another good defensive effort from Tim Parker. His body positioning was excellent, able to deal with it. We haven't gotten into it too much, JP, but you said Seattle's attacking with 5. They certainly are, and that's because of the attacking lineup Brian Schmetzer has gone for. He's really going for it at home.
That corner near post, it almost fell inside. Sounders had some players open, but it didn't fall their way. Now here's that counter for the Caps. Trip there. Lodero, is he going to get warned or booked?
Well, he should pick up a yellow card for this one.
He is. Nicolas Lodero. Written up by Baldomero Toledo. Should point out that Roldan is carrying a yellow card into this game.
And you like to see this from one of your star attacking players tracking back. He just goes in, he gets there too late. Teixeira smart, drags his foot, takes the foul. And Lodero on an early yellow card. It is interesting because Lodero's playing a more of a drawn role today, which does put a little bit more defensive responsibility on his shoulders, and that is because of Ozzie Alonso missing. He re-aggravated his quad strain, something that Brian Schmetzer had told us he was very frustrated with, and that how he had been perhaps rushed back a little too soon trying to get him healthy for this game, but that setback. And here they are now with Lodero and Roldan in the middle of the field, and a lot of responsibility that puts on Roldan defensively to shuffle across in front of that back four.
It has started to rain here. That was in the forecast. Pushed forward by Igabor. And now laid off. Gazal. Parker. De Jong. Goes long. Trapped. What's the call? No call. With Montero down. And still down. Back upfield. Seattle on the ball. Lodero walks it up, plays it left. Jovan Jones. Off the Dempsey flick. Nuhu. Rolled on. Taken away from him. Good defensive effort. That was Montero doing the work that time. Igabor pushing it wide. Caps trying to get numbers in the box. 4 players in that vicinity. 3 were in the box, but it's taken away by Seattle, and here they come. Lodero trying to unlock this Whitecap defense. Gazal breaks it up.
That's great work from Gazal, reading that pass and cutting it off before it gets to Clint Dempsey. Vancouver having a lot of success right now in the middle of the field. They're winning that battle between Igabor and Gazal against Roldan and Lodero. They're picking them off. That's twice now Christian Roldan has been caught in possession, which has allowed Vancouver then to spring that attack. Cannot be careless in possession, especially against a team that is so capable on the break like Vancouver.
Igabor will push it wide right. Nerwinski. Waston, Costa Rican international, will find Parker out of St. John's University. Reyna lost it. Sounders get it. And they lose it just as quickly as they got it. Caps on the ball. Igabor. De Jong played last year in the NASL with Ottawa. Used to play with Sporting Kansas City. Kendall Waston. Back for Parker. De Jong. Pressure on the ball, but Parker releases. Taken away by Lodero. Leerdam. For a couple of Dutch clubs, big acquisition during the season for Seattle. Helped to solidify that right back spot. Waston.
This is what we saw a lot of in the first leg, of Seattle allowing Vancouver to have possession, almost encouraging them to come out because they think they can catch them the other way.
Bolaños on the run. Up the middle, it's cut off.
And this was the last long ball, which is a great long ball from De Jong, but if you don't have pressure on the ball, you cannot play a high line, and Torres gets caught out. I don't think that's a foul. Not enough there. Roman Torres uses his strength to get across him, and Montero just loses his footing. The warning signs there.
Torres, the Panamanian international, he will get to go to the World Cup in Russia in 2018. Jones dropping it. Dempsey. Dempsey is withdrawn. Will Bruin will play higher. They may switch that up from time to time. Dempsey, wide, right side. Leerdam high up from his right back spot at the end line. Leerdam cutting it back. Quick shot taken. Stopped by Marinovic. Off of Bruin.
Good work from Leerdam down the right side, and equally good work from Will Bruin in the box, recognizing where the space was. He was up against the back 4, and you see Kendall Waston right there was furious. Just need to have communication. If that center forward, and Will Bruin likes to play along the end of the line, but he also has the ability to drop in and find that shot at the top of the box. Comfortable in the end for Marinovic.
Dempsey, Jones, Roldan. Roldan really coming into his own this year on the U.S. squad as well. Gold Cup. Torres. Torres will settle. Right side. Torres moving it. Kept it on the deck, but he couldn't find Bruin.
Just don't get the feeling this game has really kicked into gear yet,
nope.
Do you? Both teams just seem a little cautious in their approach, and we have seen the odd moment here and there where it's opened up in transition, but for the most part, neither team wanting to concede too much, and that's Seattle with this attacking lineup, but still with numbers defensively and realizing how important an away goal would be for Vancouver.
Roldan told us the other day he thought in the first leg both teams were afraid of making a mistake. But I do think that Seattle was surprised by Vancouver playing so defensive at home. Carl Robinson told us yesterday, though, he had a couple of injured players, otherwise would have been a little different. It's cut off. And the Caps get to it. Nowinski, first round pick out of UConn, knocked out, throw in for the Whitecaps. Both outside backs are fairly new to this team. At the start of the year, it was Shannon Williams and Jordan Harvey playing outside. Nowinski with this throw-in. Right sideline, nobody open there. Out for another throw-in. MLS on FS1 is sponsored by AT&T. 16th minute, zeros on the board. The scoreless stretch continues here. Scoreless in the first leg as well in Vancouver. Either team will advance with a victory. Vancouver can advance with a draw in which goals are scored. Only 0-0 would get us to an extra 30 minutes. And then possibly penalty kicks. Upfield, Bolaños trapped that ball so well against pressure. Montero laying it off on the right side. Nowinski driven for Montero. It'll bounce true to Stephen Fry. All Montero needs is one good chance tonight. He didn't get much service at all in that first leg.
He sure didn't, and he's going to have to do a lot of running again tonight. When you get a look at the Vancouver Whitecaps setup, it's 10 players back, and it's Montero high. So he's having to shuffle across, he's having to close down the ball, he's got to be the outlet, but he's willing to do that work, and he knows how to come alive in the right situations and get himself a goal.
For more on Montero, let's go downstairs to Danielle Slayton.
Well, Freddie Montero, he told us that he loved his time while he was here in Seattle, and he's very excited to be back. He does expect to be booed, but his desire to help his current team knock off his former team is fierce. He said it's not complicated, it's professional, and if Seattle stands in our way, we've got to take him down.
It is business, right? Here is Jones. Back the other way on the left. Wanting to cross it. Now tries to the right foot. That's blocked. Try again. He's taken down. This is a big free kick opportunity for the Sounders.
And this is a good area for a little bit of trickery on a set piece. And it was something that Brian Schmetzer said they had worked on for the last game and trying to mix it up on set pieces. Jovan Jones goes over a little easily there.
Lodero will take this free kick.
And this is a good area, JP, to push numbers on top of Marinovic and maybe peel off for a cutback at the top of the box.
The two big center backs are up in Marshall and Torres. Bruin is a good target. And you always have to watch Dempsey.
And the way they're shaping up right now, looks like this one's going to go right into the box. Look for Chad Marshall.
Lodero whips it to the middle. It's cleared out by the Caps. Nuhu, will he send it right back? Pushes it wide towards Lodero. Sent in, that's cleared away, intended for Bruin. Jones stepping up. Good save there by Lodero. Pushing it in, didn't get there. Musa Igabor will push it back to De Jong. Bolaños. Intercepted with a foul on Leerdam. Teixeira went down.
I love a little piece of skill from Lodero. So crafty on the ball. Over 3,000 touches on the ball this season.
Yeah, he led MLS.
Led Major League Soccer. Just loves having the ball at his feet and be able to create. And it gives him a different look, sitting in this deeper role. He's not going to be floating all over. He's got to have some discipline in the middle of the park, and that rain is really coming down now.
Stephen Fry battling these conditions. Nice shutout streak going for Stephen Fry at home. They've only lost once this year, and it was back in May against Toronto, a 1-0 score. So all the numbers point in Seattle's direction, but not on the scoreboard right now. It's still scoreless here. This result would take us to extra time if it's like this after 90 minutes. Seattle advances with a win. Vancouver does as well. And any draw with goals, Vancouver would get through because of the away goals tiebreaker. Lodeiro moving it left for Jones. One goal for either side can really open things up here. But if Vancouver scores one, Seattle is going to have to score a couple. Wide right, Leerdam. High upfield, playing it in. It was left there by Bruin. Lodeiro for Jones from distance. He fires. Stopped by Marinovic. Son of the Confederations Cup playing for New Zealand. He's apparently taken over the #1 job from David Osted. He's been Vancouver's starter in more recent history. Last 4 years, really. On this right side, the Caps push some numbers forward. They're in white with the blue trim. It's Bolaños. Try to tuck it inside, and that's on the wrong side as Torres clears for Harry Shipp. Former Chicago Fire, Montreal Impact midfielder goes forward. Shipp will cut it back. That's an easy one to call on Ali Ghazal, who's also carrying a yellow card into this game, as is Nosa Igabor. The second one means they wouldn't play in the next game if Vancouver advances. Sounders in the green and blue, Nuhu and Jones back and forth. Lodeiro. Christian Roldan.
Well, Seattle are going to break down this Vancouver defense. You've got to start to move the ball quicker between the lines. That's a good ball out wide. Can he get support to create an overload?
To the end line. That one was a wild cross. It's going to be ruled a goal kick for Marinovic. Sunday, the MLS Cup playoffs continue on FS1. Portland and Houston face off in the second leg of the Western Conference semifinals, 7:30 Eastern on FS1. That game was scoreless too, and we'll talk more about those games later on in the show. But Portland, nice result on the road, but they had injuries in that game.
They did, and significant injuries as well, JP. Diego Chara out for the season with a broken foot. Still not sure how banged up Darlington Nagbe is. Can Guzman go? Can Blanco go? A lot of questions surrounding the Portland Timbers. And then the Houston Dynamo, MLS suspending Tyler Derrick for one game pending an investigation into a domestic violence incident. So a lot of storylines into that one heading into Sunday.
Lodeiro has a tackle away. Ali Ghazal gets called. Sounders will have a free kick here as the rain intensifies in Seattle. 24th minute. 0 still here in the second leg. Torres for Marshall. Great chorus here in Seattle. Here's Montero in the middle. Advantage call here. Pinged ahead to Chera, trying to return the favor. Heading quickly. Sounders moving out of Torres. Waston.
No nonsense from Waston. Put your laces through it. Let Bolaños fight for it, try and pick up the seconds.
Jovan Jones. Dempsey turning. Shipp leaves it off. Lodeiro, nice idea, Leerdam. Tackled away by Parker. It comes free to Shipp. Shipp with a cross, back post area. Nobody close to it in the green and blue. Deflected out though for a corner. Fourth one. That time Leerdam really helped by being an outlet. as the right back going high up the field. It's another Lodeiro corner. Near post again. That's cleared away by Bolaños. Throw in Sounders.
You've got to start mixing it up if you're Seattle on set pieces. Try and play it short. Bring Vancouver out of the box. They have so many big bodies in there. They just look so comfortable defending on set pieces. And it was something we talked to Carl Robinson about of, well, this team over the past couple of years have not been good on set pieces, have conceded too many goals. And he said that they've been working on it 2-3 times a week, sometimes for an hour long at trainings. And that brings me back to those Houston Dynamo days where we used to work so extensively on set pieces with Dominic Kinnear, and you combine that with great delivery from Brad Davis and a team that was so effective. And that's what you've seen from the Vancouver Whitecaps, a turnaround and been able to capitalize on that. So yes, they play on the break.
Bad mistake there by Marinovic. Nearly paid a price.
Especially on this wet surface too. So they're just waiting for those opportunities, JP, but equally as good attacking as well as defending.
You can call this rain heavy now with Dempsey leaving it off. Dempsey took a tumble. Sounders recover. Ship on the ball. Splits two with the pass. Lodeiro moving it back. Leerdam. Nico Lodeiro. Pressure was coming there from Montero. The legs got tangled up. Baldomero Toledo's coming over. Lodeiro stays down.
And this was Marinovic, the back pass, and how about that for a first touch from the goalkeeper? I think he second-guessed himself when he saw that. When he did catch him on top. That's a yellow card.
Not given. And now the crowd is booing Freddie Montero. 5 years in MLS, 5 years a double-digit goal scorer. Jones. Dempsey.
Just saw lightning there.
I thought I did.
Oh, yeah.
I was hoping I didn't.
And that's
now
close.
the Thunder. Yeah.
That is close.
I didn't see that in the forecast.
I did not
Heard about
either.
the rain. 28th minute. Heavy rain now here at CenturyLink Field. Zeros on the board. For those just joining us, Stu, 28th minute. Does either team have an advantage to you?
Well, this game's going how the Vancouver Whitecaps want it to. They're keeping Seattle from dangerous scoring opportunities. When they pick up the ball and look to break, they start to come alive. They haven't found that outlet pass just yet. But still, I would say they look very comfortable in the way that they're able to defend.
If I was Vancouver, I'd be very careful playing balls back like that. That's the second one on this rain-soaked field.
And that ball is going to skip. I've played on these types of surface when it has been raining like this, and it helps you move the ball quicker, but sometimes that first touch that you take, it skips a little bit away from you.
Seattle credited with 6 shots. Nothing for Vancouver. The Reyna pass. Igabor. De Jong. Canadian international goes back to Parker. Waston. Ali Ghazal, the Egyptian international. Another late season acquisition for Vancouver. Back in the Whitecaps half. These teams met 3 times during the regular season. Each team won one. There was also a draw recorded. Upfield it comes. Montero leaving it off. Bolaños. 2 runners going forward for the Whitecaps toward the box. De Jong wide. Taking it deeper. Try to earn at least a corner if he could, but it's going to be a throw in deep for the Whitecaps. Nearly at the half-hour mark. They're going to bring that one back. If this result were to stand, we're going to extra time. Seattle advances with a win, as would Vancouver. A draw with goals scored. Vancouver would go on to the conference finals, a place they've never been in their existence. Lodeiro. Taken down by Nosa Igabor. No foul called. Here's Bolaños. Tried too quickly to make that move, and it's picked off. Sounders want to counter, and they ruin that opportunity by going wide of Bruin. Ali Ghazal. Pressured there. It goes to Waston. Igabor. Ghazal. Inside the circle. Jordi Reyna, Peruvian international, went down. Got it moving, though. Nowinski. Off a deflection. Montero trying to get it, as did Teixeira. But it's the Sounders that come away with the ball. Ship. Lear down. Waiting for some help. Christian Roldan, big switch. Jovan Jones, that took too long. Played forward by the Whitecaps, and it will go out of play.
Just have a look at how the Vancouver Whitecaps are defending. Freddie Montero isolated up front, very high. Jordi Reyna drops back, makes it a block of 4 and then a block of 5. And so comfortable in their movements and how they shuffle across, close down the space. So much excellent work by Igabor and Gazal in the center of the field. And Seattle have to try and find a way to get 2 against 1 on the right side or the left side through Jovan Jones. Giving the ball away in possession, and it comes all the way back. So use this surface to your advantage with a little bit of rain on it, move the ball quicker, try and create overloads. You don't want Clint Dempsey coming all the way back to the halfway line to get a touch. But these players are just finding it frustrating right now and an inability to find some space.
Ship. Played back by Lodero. Roman Torres. Ship bringing it towards the middle. Back for Chad Marshall. 3-time MLS Defender of the Year. Passed ahead by Jones. Lodero. Keeping it until that very last moment. Inside the box. Play continues. No fouls called. Here's Dempsey. Looked like he was trying to pass, not shoot there. And the ball's going to roll out for a Whitecaps throw-in.
I need to get a look at this because Nowinski was beaten by Nuhu, and he's got his shirt. That's a penalty. He takes him down before. He's got his left arm on his shirt. He makes contact before Nuhu gets to the ball. It looks like Nowinski's banged up after the play. But we're talking about using those wide areas, and that's what Seattle are able to do there.
We'll see if there's going to be a video review.
And here it is. He knows he's beat for speed. He's got a hold of his shirt. He's bringing him down, and he makes contact. That is 100% a penalty kick. And let's keep in mind, video assistant.
Yeah, they can look at it.
This is under review. They will be looking at all of this, and I am shocked that this one has not been pulled back.
Baldomero Toledo has not pointed to the earpiece to indicate he is being spoken to.
But if anything, with Vancouver, this is giving more and more time for the video review in the booth, because once play restarts, he can't go back to it. I've seen that twice, and that's a penalty both times.
Of more immediate concern, though, is can Nowinski continue?
And here's another look at it. He knows he's beaten. He has a look over his shoulder. He's pulling his shirt, and look, he makes the contact before he's even close to the ball. Every single time I look at that, it's more and more of a penalty kick. And let's hope Nowinski can continue, because he looks in a lot of pain. But not one signal from Toledo yet.
It'd be interesting if they have to take him out, because when you look at their bench, now he's going to the earpiece. Jordan Harvey's available on the subs bench. He's a left back, so maybe they will reconfigure if they have to make a change. Breck Shea could be used in the back if they wanted to. But now the Seattle players are talking to Toledo, but let's see what's going to happen here. He's not indicated anything about a video review.
Oh, now he has.
There we go.
I mean,
there we go.
It's
not supposed to take that long. In the end, Nowinski, because he couldn't get up, may have harmed his team, because, as you said, they had more time to look at it. Because if they were going to review it, that would have been instant, wouldn't it?
Well, there's a couple things you can do, and it's not Nowinski's fault by any means.
No.
Because of his injury, and you can see it. He's getting a good look at it here. But what you could do if you're Vancouver,
he's still saying no,
let him roll off the field. I mean, he shook his head initially.
Right, he shook his head. To me, that was a no.
If he's seen what I'm seeing, and I can see it right there on his screen, it is a penalty kick. And what you could have done as Vancouver is had Nowinski roll off the field and put the ball back into play if you remotely thought that it was a penalty.
That's what I would have thought. That's what I would have
And
thought.
here it is. Let's see what the decision is.
So Vancouver
And
is
it's
going to have to
play
make
on.
a change.
Wow.
Well, there you
Well,
go.
what do I know? What do I know?
Jordan Harvey is going to come in for Nowinski. So Harvey's got to quickly get into the pace, the rhythm of this game, 35+ minutes in.
We're going to get one more look at this to see if I change my mind. But Ladero was such a clever pass, knew who uses his pace. Penalty.
So what would you think Toledo was thinking there, that that's not enough for him in terms of that tug?
Clear and obvious. He saw it multiple times. He shook his head at the first one, then he was looking closer and closer. So I can't think for him here, but look, we're 35 minutes into the second leg of an important MLS playoff that has now become a knockout match. Maybe he doesn't want to make a decision that is that controversial that would completely shift this game.
Leerdam. It's coming all the way back for Torres. And now back to goal. Stephen Fry will hold it there. 37th minute. Second leg, remember that first leg, scoreless. So if this one ends up like this, we'll go to extra time as Nowinski's night is done.
Yeah, we got so caught up in the penalty shout that Nowinski's looked like he's picked up a serious injury. Had a great season, 21 games played, 3 assists. And that's a shuffle of the back four for Vancouver, a back four that had been defending very well. And Jordy Harvey has played most of his games at left back, now shifts over to the right.
Most of his career is left back. Fallon Torres, free kick here for Vancouver. Seattle's got to forget about this, though. Whether they think that was a penalty or not, the game goes on, and they need to score.
There we go. First real set piece opportunity. Reyna to deliver.
Jordy Reyna puts one in. Bounces free. Bolaños off the chest. He let it rip, but it was blocked. Sounders coming out. Jones on the move. They're going to bring it back.
And I think we're going to see a yellow.
Yeah.
Jovan Jones is so good in the open field. Just uses his speed to break between gaps. Love the little layoff from Clinton Dempsey. Takes him inside out. Cynical foul to break up the counterattack. And an absolute yellow card.
Teixeira gets booked. We're hearing hamstring on Nowinski. So his game is done, maybe his season, because the loser of this one tonight can think towards the 2018 season. The winner of this matchup goes on to face the winner of Portland-Houston. Second leg coming up here on FS1 on Sunday. And that first leg was also scoreless. All the goals are coming in the Eastern Conference. De Jong for Waston. 39th minute. Harvey. Wide open. Nosa Igabor. No one was near him from a Sounders standpoint. Driven up towards Montero. Settling. Montero waits. Tried to chip Fry, but that's wide.
And had Montero there just waited a half second more, he could have played in Jordy Reyna, who'd made a fantastic run on the right side. And I think, JP, to your point, there was a miscommunication in the center of the field there. As Igabor was able to find so much space in behind both Roldan and Ladero.
40th minute. Zeros on the board. Coming up on the Audi halftime report, all of your first half highlights and analysis, plus MLS expansion news. Nuhu on the left side. Moving it ahead for Jones. Jovan Jones with a pass for Ladero. Not many touches tonight for Clint Dempsey. Seattle have to find a way to try to get him more involved, I would think. Waston just sends it towards that far sideline. Stays in play.
And I think for Dempsey to get more involved tonight, he's going to have to start floating wider to pick up those pockets because of the job that Igabor and Ghazal are doing in front of the back four. They're really good understanding between the two of them, cutting off gaps, cutting off those passing lanes. So Clint Dempsey's got to find a way, perhaps going around them to get those little pockets of space where he can get faced up.
So Nowinski headed for the tunnel, almost at halftime. Dempsey lost it, almost recovered it.
Well, there it is. Found that little bit of space, and as soon as he takes that first touch, Igabor once again closed it down and picks it off.
The Caps have numbers 4, but the Sounders are back to defend. Bolaños leaves it. In the middle, Igabor, 50 in the white of Vancouver. Back to Waston. Jordan Harvey. Harvey forces it back to Waston. So the Whitecaps had to burn a sub because of the injury to Nowinski. Knocked out a play. Throw in here for Vancouver. Igabor to the right with that pass. Lodero takes over for Dempsey, looking to turn. There's pressure on that ball. Right side, Lear down. Slowing it down, Bolaños defends. Dempsey pushing it forward. Lodero tried to draw a foul, did not. Instead, Montero by himself, 1 against 4.
And he does so well here. Oh, he's gone the other way.
That's
I thought he's
interesting.
drawn the foul. 1 against 4. Here comes Seattle.
Jovan Jones at the other end, going wide, defended by Harvey. It's cleared away by the Caps up toward Jordi Reyna. Torres knocked that away.
Torres is going to have that one all day long. Ball coming up towards him. Big center back can attack it. He's got Jordan Reyna. He's probably got a foot on height advantage-wise.
Torres is 6'2". Reyna listed at 5'7".
I'm not so sure.
I'm not so sure either. I saw him yesterday.
Not that I'm a giant by any means.
I don't think he's 5'7". But he's very talented. And we may not be seeing him at his absolute best here tonight. Just coming back from an injury. Didn't even play a game for this team until July 1st because of an injury in preseason. Into the box it comes, and Marinovic makes an easy play. Will Bruin was looking to go on the end of that.
And only one player in the box for the Seattle Sounders. So if you're the Vancouver Whitecaps, that's exactly what you want. Put a cross in, it's got to be absolutely pin perfect to get Will Bruin on it. And what a pickup he has been for the Seattle Sounders.
Excellent year for Bruin. Last year only had 4 goals and 3 assists with the Dynamo, and this year double-figure goals.
32 games played, and with the injury to Jordan Morris, he has played a big role for this team. And we haven't even talked about Jordan Morris yet. What a big loss that was.
That's true.
And we saw him at training yesterday. Said he's working his way back still from that hamstring injury. Hoping to be back if they advance.
Lodero down this left side. It's Jones looking, crossing, blocked by Waston. Here's Dempsey. Shot was blocked. Trying to force it through. Cleared away.
Well, you know he wants to shoot, don't you? As soon as Clint Dempsey picks that ball up on the top of the box, he's just trying to create a half yard. Chopped it back on the left, and once again, good defending. Just a real commitment to this style of play from the Vancouver Whitecaps and not allowing too many gaps.
Leerdam pushing it in the middle, blocked, and then cleared away. Let's pick it up here in the closing moments of the half. Leerdam with that throw in, short right side, Lodero. Ship. Nico Lodero pushing it wide. Jones, Harvey catching up to him. Jovan Jones will hold, finds Nuhu. 5 in the green and blue of Seattle, putting it up there, but it's too close to Marinovic.
And just as Marinovic picked that one up, I'm looking at Freddie Montero, who was the only outlet, and he was signaling to him, almost saying, watch, look at the time. Let's get to halftime. Make sure this is a 0. We can regroup. We can get some energy. Come back out for the second half. So Vancouver Whitecaps in no rush to get this play going.
Vancouver on the ball. Terrell has help. Pushed forward, long run for DeYoung. That ball just rolls away on this wet turf. 3 minutes, minimum of 3 added on in stoppage time. Maybe a throw in here for Seattle from deep in their own territory. Seattle advances the conference finals with a win, as would Vancouver. A draw with goals would also get Vancouver through because of the away goals tiebreaker. 0-0 means another 30 minutes and then maybe penalty kicks to see who gets to the conference finals. Stumble there, ruled a stumble anyway, as Teixeira went down. It's going to be a goal kick for Stephen Fry. Teixeira has to be careful. He's already got a yellow card. Shouldn't be speaking to Toledo there. Ball rolls away and out for a Vancouver throw-in. Well, the pressure will be building, Stu, if this one stays scoreless going in at halftime.
You're going to hear the groans from the home fans. They're going to be expecting their team to continue to attack, to try and open up this team. And with every minute that goes by, I think that starts to favor Vancouver because they can feed off that energy, gives them a little bit more life on the counterattack. Maybe some fresh legs at halftime.
Boston heads it down. Clipped by DeYoung. Cut off by Lodero. Nico Lodero will push one up. Dempsey! Wide of the post. It was there for Clint.
And Will Bruin feels that he was shoved by Kendall Waston inside the box. And it was the first time they've allowed Dempsey to drift off that back shoulder. And that one goes wide, just wide. And Clint Dempsey just trying to stretch to get on the end of it. And I don't see enough contact from Waston. They're both going for that one. I'm not sure that Bruin's even going to get there.
Clint's postseason numbers, that would have really brought the house down had he scored there. So close to halftime. Marinovic, easy play, rolls it to Harvey. Almost through with the 3 minutes of stoppage time. And it's still scoreless here. Throw in here for Seattle. The time running out in the first half. Dempsey back in the playoffs, missed last year because of the heart condition, has not played in the playoffs since 2015. Dempsey looked like he was going to win that ball. Instead, it's Reyna, and that's going to do it. Final whistle from Baldomero Toledo. Well, Clint Dempsey and company struggle to find the back of the net. You could say the same for both teams. Little controversy and injury, just about everything. Little thunder, little lightning as well, and heavy rain here in Seattle. Just about everything. At least another 45 to come your way, and possibly extra time. It will be extra time if this ends up scoreless. No subs to start this second half. Vancouver had to make the one change. Nowinski left with an injury late in the first half. Jordan Harvey, who's on the ball right now, replaced him.
We've got to get a goal, right?
That's what you said earlier. I think you said goals plural. Here's Bolaños. It'll certainly open up the game regardless of who does score. But if Vancouver does score first, Seattle's going to have to get 2 in order to advance. Nuhu on the ball. Away goals could play a factor in this. Toronto the other night got 2 road goals against the New York Red Bulls. That puts them in a good spot for Sunday when they go back to Toronto, BMO Field. On this right side, it's tucked in. Lodero trying to push it across, and Marinovic makes the easy play. Fourth game in 12 nights for Vancouver. I know they rotate the squad, but we'll see if heavy legs take over later in this game, especially with all the rain on the field. Here's Ladero. Ladero and Teixeira each were booked in the first half of play. Jones. New. Marshall. For Torres. Pressure amps up here in Seattle. Sounders are the favorites. There are always upsets, though, in the MLS Cup playoffs. Marshall pushing it. Torres. Vancouver drops back. Torres pass. Gazal almost knocked it away. Sounders have a man down. This play continues on this left side. It's Nuhu. Jones. Lodero. Back for Jovan Jones. Dempsey was the player that went down, but he's okay now apparently and back up on his feet and in the play. Nico Lodero, Uruguayan international, will find Roldan. Big switch there. Roldan, very active first half for him. Dempsey. Kept it on the deck. That's cleared away by Parker. Torres cut it off. Bolaños nearly took that one away. Had he done that, Montero was in a good spot.
He got a little fortunate, didn't he? Torres there took a heavy touch off the turf, and Reyna just couldn't quite get control of it. He was looking to spring Freddie Montero up front.
Nuhu leaving it there for Will Bruin from distance. He fires it, it's blocked. You don't usually see him take shots from there. They're down, that's blocked. He'll have another go. That one's deflected, and Marinovic will grab it and punt it ahead. Montero went for it, but Torres was more aggressive there. And Baldomero Toledo's got a foul and maybe a card on Montero. Yes, he does.
Well, it was brave defending from Torres because this one bounced and took a pretty big bounce up in the air, and he has to react to it as Montero's just trying to get in front of it, flick it onto Reyna, and does well to get in front and draws the contact from Freddie Montero, who, going back to the first half, was fortunate not to be in the book already.
True.
For that challenge that he had on Ladero.
Montero was playing in China. He's actually here on loan. That was big news when they picked him up earlier, and he's come through for them. Switch by Roldan.
These are good balls wide from Christian Roldan, but Seattle Sounders have to start to move it quicker now in the final third. If you can shift the defense, get them moving and offset, not allowing them to double down on your fullbacks, then you can have some success. But every time it goes wide, the first pass is going backwards. It allows Vancouver to get set up, and they're just keeping everything in front of them right now.
De Jong's back on the chase, heading it back to Parker. And that goes out of play, throw-in for the Sounders. Roldan.
Now if you can go.
Jones. Sending one up. Cleared by Waston. Off a miss-hit. The Sounders will recover. Nuhu. Jones. Lost it there to Harvey. Quickly it comes. Montero. Help from Reyna. Freddie will pull it back. Finds Bolaños. And now the Sounders are able to get everybody back defensively.
And they had an opportunity there, JP. Nuhu just makes a decision to give Jovan Jones an overlap. Get in behind him, which will force a defender to drop, and then he can have a better look at delivering that cross. Instead, he leaves him 2 against 1. Teixeira drops back. They pick the ball off, and then they're able to find Montero on the outlet.
Parker for Waston. Jordan Harvey. Gazal moving it ahead. Igabor. Bolaños back towards Igabor.
Sure, this is where Brian Schmetzer would love to have a Jordan Morris available. Someone that can stretch a team in behind that would open up more gaps for Clint Dempsey underneath, Nico Lodeiro to push a little bit further forward. And he said, Will Bruin, he said directly to us, he's been a soldier this season. He surpassed expectations coming in, 11 goals on the season, 2 assists, really just lays it out there. He was always fighting. You know what you're going to get from him, but he's not as dynamic as a Jordan Morris.
Montero has a go from distance with Roldan pressuring. It's wide. 52nd minute. Still scoreless. Second leg.
And it's a good position for Montero to pick it up. Is able to use his body really well to get in front of Roldan. Doesn't get the technique right on the shot.
I mentioned Morris not being available tonight. Available offensive subs for Seattle, Victor Rodriguez or Lamar Nagel, if they're looking for something else. Right now he's got his best 11 and he's got his best attackers out there, but at some point, if it's not getting done, he'll go to the bench.
And Vancouver just frustrating Seattle and frustrating Will Bruin, who's having to come back 10 yards from his halfway line to even get a touch on the ball. He takes a heavy touch, they jump in front, they pick it off. And we were talking at halftime, JP, the longer this game goes at 0-0, I think it favors Vancouver, because Seattle are going to have to keep pushing. They're going to feel a little bit more pressure from the home crowd. They're going to want to create something. They're going to make a play where they push numbers forward, and Vancouver are just going to head down the other end and get one, or they're going to pick them off on a set piece. So it's not a matter of urgency just yet for Seattle, but I think you have to start thinking, if you're Brian Schmetzer, of changes that you can make to start to open this game up a little bit.
Ship is on the chase. Moved ahead. Igabor. Montero.
I think what we actually might see, JP, is Svensson coming in at some point and moving Nico Lodeiro further forward, perhaps in place of Harry Ship. Someone that, if you can get Lodeiro closer to the goal, his ability to pick a pass might just open something up for them.
Jordan Harvey. Push it back to Waston. Defender of the Year candidate. Going up against Opara and Morrow. 3 outstanding defenders this season in MLS. Lodeiro. Wow. Not even close to Dempsey. They're not on the same page tonight. Bolaños. Teixeira. Igabor. Bolaños couldn't get through. That's Lodeiro. Good tackle out of play. Let's go downstairs. Danielle Slayton, what are you hearing on those benches?
Well, I'm overhearing Brian Schmetzer communicating to his side, saying, play it here, get it wide, use the width. I think he thinks that's where the space is on the field that Seattle needs to exploit.
We'll see if they do. Got Leerdam and Jones out wide, and Nuhu. Leerdam, to me, was the more effective of the wide players. The right back in the first half, anyway.
That's a bad giveaway.
Jones. Can they make them pay? Lodeiro! Wide. Deflected, though. Corner, Seattle. 5th one, first of this half.
I just saw Roldan there have a little word with Lodeiro in his ear as he's heading over to take this corner. And it was a poor giveaway in midfield and allowed it to open up, and Tim Parker yet again rushing out of his hole to make that defensive intervention.
This game, this series could be decided on a mistake like that. Lodeiro. Outswinger. Comes all the way out. Ship. Cut off there. Montero. And that's lost as well. Roll down. Into the box. Left there. Dempsey. Shot. Go! Seattle leads.
Well, it was like Clint Dempsey's a difference maker, and Vancouver get caught in transition. It's the one little pass from Nico Lodeiro, splits the lines. Roldan does so well. That little step over takes Gazal out of the play, and then it's all Clint Dempsey. What a finish that is on top of the box. We saw him try one earlier in the first half. The cutback with the right creates a half yard of space and just bends it in. What a finish, Clint Dempsey, to open the scoring in this series. Marinovic can do nothing, and it was the first time all night that we've seen Vancouver scrambling defensively, and a Seattle player in Christian Roldan that was willing to break the lines and commit defenders towards the ball.
The goal coming in the 56th minute is first of this playoff for Dempsey. 5th career. Throw in here for Seattle. Remember though, the Vancouver
still a
scores.
one-goal game.
Yeah, Vancouver scores, but this changes everything now. It'll open everything up. The goal we were waiting for, regardless of who scored it. So Vancouver doesn't have to panic. One goal would tie it, and if it ends 1-1, they advance.
Well, this could be a red card here.
Boy, oh boy. Talk about a game changer.
This could be a red. What a catastrophic couple minutes that would be for the Vancouver Whitecaps. We'll have to get another look at it.
Ship is the player that's down.
And I think it's Igabor, yeah. He's got the high boot. Oh. I mean, that's dangerous play. The other thing is that Harry Shipp did put his head down towards the ball. But the studs were exposed, JP. And he looks to be okay. I think this one looked worse than it might have actually been.
So Igabor would get the yellow card, and if they advance, he would not be able to play against the winner of Portland-Houston. So let's reset it for you. 59th minute. Seattle has a 1-0 lead in this game. 1-0 lead in the aggregate. If they win, they advance. However, all Vancouver needs is one goal to tie it, and then Seattle would need to score again. Played long. This play is resumed, and Marinovic grabs it. But at least we had that goal that you were advertising. That you had promised.
As advertised, as promised. We got a goal, and
now let's see how they both play. Let's see how they both play.
Well, Vancouver have to come out now, so let's see what Carl Robinson does. Whether he makes a change, maybe sacrifices one of those defensive midfielders, or perhaps Teixeira, who was struggling coming into this one with an injury, was able to go.
I do see Gustav Svensson up by the 4th official, so they may be trying to lock it down. Of course, there's risk-reward. Seattle doesn't need another goal, and they certainly don't want to risk things. Ball went out of play.
Yeah, and I think it was intentional, actually, by Jovan Jones, who was putting it out of play, because I think he might be the one, and he is the one who's coming off for Svensson.
MLS on FS1, sponsored by Continental Tire, for what you do. So the last touches for Jovan Jones. Svensson will come in. Stefan Fry credited Svensson yesterday with some hard work in the middle of the season that helped add some balance and defensive stability to this group, made them a better team.
Yeah, and it was a change we thought might happen. It looks like it was an injury to Jovan Jones, but Nico Lodeiro has moved up further forward onto that right side. Harry Shipp has come to the near left side in front of us, and now you have more defensive nuance in the center of the park there, which I imagine give Roldan a little bit more freedom to start to join the attack, but with an eye on making sure they keep a clean sheet tonight.
Svensson, for most of the year, was a starter for this team, and would have started tonight if he could have gone 90 minutes. Now they hope he can go 30. Dempsey leads it. A chance there. Could have been the second goal. Could have been lights out for Vancouver. I think they have the capability, Stu, to get one goal tonight, but not two.
Well, and the way we thought this game could potentially play out was if Seattle got an early goal and Vancouver had to open up a little bit, well, then Seattle were going to get more chances. Well, we had to wait a while for that first goal, but I do think Vancouver, these gaps are going to open up, and Clint Dempsey starting to find space underneath. It's a good layoff. Tim Parker forces Bruin wide, and that one goes flashing past Marinovic's post.
Boston on the ball, finding Harvey. Vancouver maybe making another change as well. Soon, ball deflected up. Bolaños pushing it to the left. Jordi Reyna going the opposite way. Jordan Harvey is up. All Vancouver needs is a goal to tie it. And they would advance any way goals. Ball chipped up. And Stephen Fry watches as that one sailed over his head. And we're going to see Alphonso Davies come into the game. As that last look, I think Stefan knew that that was over. Ship on the ball. Sounders with a 1-0 lead, a result that would get them through to take on the winner of Portland versus Houston. That second leg on FS1 Sunday from Portland. Torres. Ship taken away. Here's Vancouver looking. Montero. That's blocked. Played forward to Reyna. Right side to Chera. Went short. Right side, Harvey. To Chera. Curls one in. Too close to Torres. Ali Ghazal. No foul given there as he took down Bruin. Bolaños. From distance. Reyna looks. Harvey makes the run. Did well to keep that ball in play, but it's right to Stephen Fry. Torres. For Ladero. Roll down, picks up. And they try to go out wide for Leerdam. It's out of play. Throw in for Vancouver. But we'll see the sub now. Teixeira's night is done. We wondered how long he could go with that injury. But here's young Alphonso Davies. He's turned 17 today. Let's go downstairs, hear more from Danielle Slayton.
Well, Carl Robinson said the competition between Brek Shea and Alphonso Davies has been very close, but the youngster still hasn't overtaken him consistently. However, Robinson said he's unafraid to play that younger player, get him experience in big moments. We saw that with Stefan Marinovic, and we see that here tonight. Big game for Alphonso Davies.
See what he does on his birthday. Just 17, he's a Canadian international Gold Cup Golden Boot winner. On this right side, cleared away.
Gold Cup Golden Boot winner and has no goals on the season for the Vancouver Whitecaps. So
true.
What a moment this would be to get your first. He's still young, still developing, but a lot of hype around this kid. Hesitated to call him kid because he
is a kid.
He is.
Right? Bolaños finding Harvey. Davies towards Bolaños. That's cut off. Lodero just keeping the ball, now sending it up the wing. So Vancouver have made 2 changes.
Well, now we're starting to see Vancouver put Seattle under some pressure. And anything that comes down the right, Jordan Harvey's going to want to come back and deliver on the left. So let's see if Davies can keep that width. And put some service, dangerous service into the box and start testing the Seattle back line.
Igor. Montero, it's blocked. Off Reyna. Harvey. Bad ball towards Waston. He does well with it. '66th minute. A 1-0 lead for Seattle. Enough to get them through to the conference finals. Victor Rodriguez is up by the 4th official. Igor will push it into the box. The header right at goal. Bolaños. On this right side, MLS on FS1, sponsored by Heineken. Open your world. Vancouver just needs one. An away goal would get it done. Now we're going to see Victor Rodriguez come in for Harry Shipp. Fresh legs, a different type player as well. Rodriguez not available for last game. One of those players nursing injuries. Shipp got the assist, as did Will Bruin on the Dempsey goal. Rodriguez, another late acquisition, came in August. Scored a couple of goals in 7 games.
Brian Schmetzer saying yesterday that was the only good part of his day, finding out that Rodriguez was going to be available off the bench for him. I think also referring there to losing Ozzy Alonso to a re-aggravation of that quad injury.
It's been a rough year for them with injuries. Brad Evans has hardly played as well. Very steady player for them over the years. Dempsey, he and Roldan working together. Push back to Marshall. They can try to pull Vancouver out, make Vancouver chase. Played long. Boston usually wins those. Parker. De Jong. Little bounce free. Terrell got rocked by Torres. Advantage call here. Here's Davies. Deking. Davies with a low shot. That's wide of Fry. And a yellow card going to Roman Torres.
Yeah, it's good refereeing from Toledo. We saw Torres catch Montero after the play, lets the play develop, finds its way out to Davies. It does well 1-against-1 to come in and try and find that left foot, and then goes back and gives him the yellow card. Those two jawing after the play. Expect nothing less at this stage of the playoffs.
It's the 5th yellow card issued today by Toledo. 69th minute, a 1-0 lead for Seattle.
Here it was. Montero, for guys of his size, does so well to use his body and is caught after the play by Torres.
And it was good refereeing to let that advantage play out and then award the card later. Harvey. Davies. If Vancouver is to score a goal, what's their best way to get it?
Gonna try and get the ball to Freddie Montero. And Jordi Reyna has been incredibly quiet for the Whitecaps tonight. Seeing him in the lineup, and still might be a little banged up. He was a late fitness test. He was added to the lineup. It's who they wanted to see, but he hasn't been able to find any space.
You wonder if he could go 90 or if he might be the one that will come out.
So for Vancouver, it's got to be little combination plays in and around the box to free up some space for Montero, because their delivery from wide areas, they don't often get their fullbacks into the attack. De Jong has 1 assist on the year. Nowinski, who left the game, only had 3. Jordan Harvey's not going to venture too far forward, so it's going to come for a little combination play, whether it's a player like Bolaños, who's popping off the back 4, trying to find space between the lines to unlock this Seattle defense. But you have to start putting more and more pressure on them.
Bolaños got it outside for De Jong. They're very good on the set pieces.
Ooh,
and
that's
now, I was going to say, they haven't had many of these. Here's one coming up on the corner.
Well, and you can see it in Lodero's face. He knows he's made a mistake, but he also knows it's just a little error that affords an opportunity now for Reyna to put good quality service in there.
This is their first corner coming up.
And they just try to free up Kendall Waston. The big bodies clumped together.
Reyna near post, headed away. So only the one corner, Stu, and they've hardly drawn fouls anywhere near the box. So we've not seen them with the set pieces, which is their strength, one of their strengths. Rain starting to pick up more. 71st minute. This result would put Seattle through to the conference finals. But all Vancouver needs is a 1-1 draw, and they would advance because of the away goals tiebreaker. That's their focus. They need 1 goal in the next 20 minutes, assuming they keep Seattle off the board. Nuhu leaves it. Rodriguez pass to Svensson. Lodero. Rodriguez. Takedown there. Foul was given.
I just think Seattle looks so much more comfortable with Ladero further forward. I know it's by personnel and missing Alonso in the middle of the field, and Svensson was able to recover to be a part and be on the bench today, but if they can have Svensson healthy from the get-go, it allows Ladero to be more creative, and him and Dempsey, whether he's on the right or centrally, it gives them a more dynamic approach in the final third.
Here's Dempsey. Ladero back for Dempsey! Looking for goal number 2, which would have probably ended this game, even with this much time left. Sunday, MLS Cup playoffs continue in FS1. Portland and Houston in the second leg. 7:30 Eastern. FS1. Everything to play for in that game.
Promising goals again in that one.
Sure you are. Davies with it. Blocked. Rolled on. Seattle's ball. 73rd minute. It's been a tough game. For the longest time until Dempsey scored, it looked like, hey, this could end scoreless after 90 and it'd be extra time. We at least know no extra time, but will Seattle advance, or can Vancouver get an equalizer, which would be good enough to get them to the conference finals? 1-1 would do the trick.
It was a good sequence from Seattle, but Clint Dempsey still had a lot to do at the top of the box. With a number of Vancouver bodies in front of him, bodies that have been defending so well tonight. So just to produce that with his left foot, certainly worthy of a game winner if this ends 1-1, and he's feeling it now. Clint Dempsey with the roll on the top of the ball.
The throw in. Vancouver do have some time left, but we're getting down to the tougher stages for them. Pretty soon it'll be 15 minutes. Against a Seattle team that's strong defensively, and especially here at home. Rodriguez. He's open. Dempsey's with him. Ladero. Rodriguez. Knocked off the ball.
Great work, Davies, to track back there and make the challenge on Rodriguez, as Seattle looked like they were starting to create something. Good one-touch movement in and out between Rodriguez, Dempsey, and Bruin.
Waston. Harvey. Parker. De Jong. Reyna's upfield. That's knocked away from him. Laid off by Bruin to Ladero. He was stripped of the ball in a bad spot. Bolaños. Wide for Davies. And took his eye off the ball. It looked like they lost it.
He's too worried about Nuhu, who seen that pass coming and read it well and made a quick five-yard sprint to close it down. And as you said, Davies just took his eye off the ball, anticipating that challenge.
Nuhu slowed down by Harvey. Parker. Bolaños. One of these two teams will see their season end tonight on this field. Vancouver, 1 goal away, though, from tying it, which would enable them to advance. 1-1 would do the trick, but can they get that one? Davies. Harvey. Down to about 15 minutes and some stoppage time to get that goal, while also not conceding. De Jong. Reyna lost it. Ladero. Foul on Ale Gazal. Free kick for Seattle.
Gazal with the foul on Clint Dempsey. A little bit of a flick after, and Don't see too much there contact there, but he might just tripped his feet.
It's a Vancouver team that's given Seattle a good run for their money tonight. Carl Robinson's team won 6 games on the road. That's the most in the Western Conference, second only to Toronto's 7. They don't have to win this game tonight. A draw would do it, but they'll need a goal. And they've not come close to really getting that tonight. Here's Seattle back on the ball with Rodriguez. Inside, Ladero almost got through. Whitecaps will break it up and go forward. Again, it was Waston back there cleaning things up. Over the top for Davies. Headed by Torres. Nuhu. Rolled down. Blocked out. Last touch by Harvey. Throw in. Seattle. Good second half for Christian Roldan. Taking on more responsibility here in the second 45.
Yeah, it's been fun to watch his evolution as a player. A player that got the taste of U.S. men's national team this summer in the Gold Cup. A player that's become more of a leader in the locker room. He said he likes to lead by example on the field. Just a player that reads the game so incredibly well. Not the best athlete you're going to say, not the best ball player you're going to see, but just has a great way of finding good gaps. He's tidy, he can make a good pass, and then he's chipped in with a couple goals this season as well.
He's only 22 as well, and in his 3rd year, each year he's better and better, and now on the national team radar. We'll see what a new coach brings in terms of roll down. The halfway line, Sounders play it back. Nuhu to Marshall. Now in the 79th minute. Seattle with the lead. They'll advance with the scoreline to the conference finals. Bump there as that ball goes out. Igor already on a yellow.
Well, I've been impressed by Igobor's ability to close down space tonight. Very rangy midfielder in the middle. And as Tim Parker gets drawn out, he does well to chew up the ground, and he does have contact on the back of Ladero. Not a lot, but in that type of area of the field right there, anything that Ladero feels, he's going to go down. As we see Breck Shea getting ready to come into the game.
Breck Shea can play in a number of positions. If he does come in for De Jong, he could play that left back spot, but we'll see what Vancouver does.
The last roll of the dice here for Carl Robinson. 12 minutes left.
Ladero taking as much time as he can before he strikes on this free kick. Two in the wall. Ladero, some trickery there, played across and headed away. Seattle will recover. Nuhu. Headed forward, Dempsey! Wide, too wide to get a crack at goal.
Well, he's frustrated there, Clint Dempsey, and actually saw Brian Schmetzer signaling for Chad Marshall and for his center backs to get back behind the ball. Well, Chad Marshall stays up and does so well to win this header. Good flick over the top, and that one gets away from him. You see the frustration from Clint Dempsey, knowing that he should have brought that one in. He was eyeing another goal.
In the meantime, Breck Shea has just come on. 2 assists in the playoffs in that 5-0 blowout over San Jose in the knockout game. So in comes Breck Shea. He could play as the left back. He could play higher up the field. So we'll see if they go with 3 in the back or what they're going to do. They need a goal. Vancouver, or their season ends in 10 minutes, plus some stoppage time. Ball booted to the halfway line. Ladero moving it ahead. Will Bruin to the right. Laid off. Ladero. Holding it up. Seattle can afford to be very patient here. They don't need another goal. On this right side, they're down.
It looks though Davies has switched sides with Bolaños now.
Seattle still working it. Beardam loses. Vancouver tries to come back. It's a bad ball picked off. Dempsey sliding it right. Beardam, the cross in front, blocked. Vancouver can't afford to give another one up here as they try to get that goal that would send them through to the conference finals for the first time in their MLS history. Going forward is Rodriguez. A bump from behind, kept it rolling, couldn't find Bruin, but he does draw the foul and a booking.
It's going to be Waston. As Rodriguez gets that ball off his foot, he just caught him late.
Half a dozen yellow cards now.
And it was good play from Rodriguez. Committed defenders towards the ball by positive running. Lovely little flick around the corner initially to break the lines in midfield. And he was carrying an injury coming into this one.
He's a well-traveled player, Sporting Gijón his last stop. A few clubs in Spain.
And you can see he's got his right leg wrapped, and I think he takes contact on that right leg. And this area's got Clint Dempsey written all over it.
He's back up, ready to go. Maybe up one other sub if they wish to go there. But in the meantime, more time taken up on free kicks like this. The clock is against Vancouver right now, as is the scoreline. Ball spotted by Dempsey, about 23 yards away. Marinovic is setting up this wall.
And he's just had a word there with Roldan, who's going to go and stand in the wall and look for him to try and disrupt this Vancouver wall. Become a nuisance to try and just throw his bodies in, perhaps open up a gap for Dempsey. Capable of going either side. We saw him tie Landon Donovan's record with the U.S. men's national team from a free kick.
Darrow's also there, but it is Dempsey! Just high. Dempsey, for all intents and purposes, would have ended this game right there had he scored.
Yeah, and this one he's trying to go up and over the wall. Marinovic with a big dive across his goal, but that one was always rising. Well, he's the difference maker tonight, Clint Dempsey. Missed the first leg on a suspension, one-game suspension from the league after picking up a red card for an elbow on the final game of the season.
Darrow dribbling, laid off by Dempsey. Seattle will keep the ball with Nuhu. Blocked by Bolaños. Long run there. Good effort by Montero, but Nuhu is there. Rodriguez. Vancouver have to pick up the pace. They've got about 6 minutes in stoppage time left in their season if they don't score. Clipped up by Waston. Off Torres. Ali Ghazal taken away. Svensson pushing it back to goal. Fry with a clearance. Moved ahead by Ali Ghazal.
Just haven't looked dangerous tonight, have they, Vancouver? Going forward. Montero just been isolated all game. Jordi Reyna with barely even said his name, JP, in the attacking third. Just hasn't been able to get on the ball. Bolaños has been kept quiet. Now you've got Alphonso Davies rather, in the game. He hasn't been able to get on the ball, and just a lot of static movement. And when they've had possession, haven't been able to look forward and find the ball. I'm looking at Reyna right now, and Montero just standing right up against the Seattle back four. Somebody's got to pop off. Somebody's got to give an option for one of these midfielders or defenders to get on the ball. And even with Breck Shea, he can get forward, but just hasn't had the opportunity yet. So you have to credit Seattle as well.
Vancouver credited tonight somehow with 6 shots and 1 shot on goal. And for the life of me, I can't remember the shot on goal. Stephen Fry's not done anything today. Bolaños, I guess.
Yeah, that glancing header, I think, yeah, that was comfortable
not
for
much
Fry.
on it. Yeah.
Didn't register a shot on goal in the first leg at home. And let's not forget, this is a Vancouver Whitecap team that just needed a result in one of their last 3 games to finish top of the West.
Yeah, they were in first on that last day, lost to Portland on the final day. All they need is the 1 goal here. They've got about 4 minutes and some stoppage time to try to get it. At this point, risk-reward kind of goes out the window, right, for Vancouver?
Yeah, you got to throw numbers forward now. If you got Brek-Shea at left back, he's got to be playing as a left midfielder. You've got to push Bolaños further forward. Maybe even Kendall Waston soon. Put him up front, start putting some long balls in the box. Maybe you get a knockdown second chance.
Reyna looking for that one moment of magic. Didn't find it there. Dempsey with a game's only goal. Nuhu. It's blocked out, and it's going to be another corner for Seattle. They're 6th. And again, more time to take off the clock.
Nuhu has been impressive tonight for Seattle. Just his ability to get up and down, up and down. We saw him make an incredible recovery just seconds ago. He's provided support on that left side for Jovan Jones when he was in the game. Again, he made a gut-busting run from the center of midfield to give Dempsey an outlet on the left side. Selfless running from Nuhu.
He's just a 20-year-old. Became a starter towards the end of the year. At left back, ball played in on the short corner. Rodriguez knocked in. That'll do it. 2 for Dempsey. A deuce for deuce.
Well, we've been crying out all game for Seattle to take one of these set pieces short, and Vancouver got caught sleeping on a set piece. Look at all the space right there for Rodriguez, and it's a fantastic ball. Hit with pace, it's dipping to the back post, and Jordan Harvey loses his man, but Clint Dempsey just finds a way to get on the end of it. Right place, right time, yet again, and it's the second on the night for Clint Dempsey. Missed the first leg, and the difference maker, the star player on the team, turns up when they need him. With his second goal.
That ball had so much pace from Rodriguez that I thought he was shooting for the far post. But do you think he's passing?
I think he's passing, but I think he's smart because he's hitting it hard across the face of goal. If it takes any type of deflection, it's going to end up in the back of the net. And all Dempsey has to do at that point is just to redirect it on goal.
So Seattle looking to close the night with an exclamation point and go on to the finals, where they'll take on the winner of Portland versus Houston. Is there another one?
Might be a hat trick at Dempsey, back post.
Rodriguez, here's Dempsey! Not much on it. I think he got caught in 2 minds, maybe to feed Will Bruin, who was open. Seattle's getting ready to make a final sub.
And it picked off in midfield, and Dempsey makes a good late run. Rodriguez finds him well. I think Dempsey has the time to take a touch. I'm surprised he took that one early. Maybe open that one up on his body and put it away, but here we go. Vancouver pouring numbers forward. The gaps are opening up. This could end up 3 or 4.
Confident Seattle club now. Wide. Bruin was open. Dempsey. Save Marinovich. And he comes up with it. Lob toss ahead for Brek-Shea. Now it's not 1 but 2 goals that Vancouver needs. Reyna sending it in. That would have made it closer. But you're still talking a miracle finish, even if that had gone in. Nagel's coming in for Bruin.
Well, he's had a night, hasn't he, JP? Clint Dempsey. We were talking to Seattle officials yesterday who said, well, we all know Clint Dempsey's option is up at the end of the season. His contract, they have an option to renew it. Seattle's option. We've been talking about, well, they've been in negotiations, and we were told yesterday by Seattle that they have a warm, fuzzy feeling about him coming back next year, which makes it seem, and we know they've been in advanced discussions, but that Clint Dempsey will be back here next season. At what number, we do not know, but that is good news, and certainly proving his worth yet again to this franchise. And when you need him, he has turned up. Another 12 goals, 4 assists on the season, adding 2 more now in the postseason. Didn't get to be a part of the run to the MLS Cup last year, and one that you could tell just hurt him, and one that he didn't really feel was his. So he has a little bit of a chip on his shoulder, wanting to make sure he leads this team to back-to-back championships.
Ladero, wide for Lamar Nagel, 3rd and final sub. for the Sounders. It's Nuhu. Ladero. Back by Dempsey. Nuhu. All about possession now. But that second goal, big difference. Dempsey has both of the goals. Seattle are moments away from getting to the conference finals. Bolaños blocked by Roldan. Then he lost it. Look at the fight, though, to try to get it back, even with a 2-goal lead. Ladero. Dempsey. Rodriguez finding Nagel. Ladero. It's the smarter thing to do. Just push it back, keep the ball. You don't need any more goals. Better passing here from Seattle. They'll keep it. Rodriguez. Leerdam. Into the middle it comes. Ladero. Oh, Nagel was wide open. Couldn't find him. Jordi Reyna. Slowing things down at the halfway line. Bolaños for Brek-Shea. 3rd minute of stoppage time. Out for the throw-in for Brek-Shea. Aggressive defending there from Seattle. Now too much. Foul was given.
Well, it'll be a disappointing end to the Vancouver Whitecaps season. One that was showing so much promise, especially towards the end. Then faltering on the last day, losing to Portland 2-1. Falling out of a position to get the bye in the first round. It was a great result against the San Jose Earthquakes, a 5-0 thumping, one that you thought might give them some momentum heading into this series. And then it's just petered out. But they're up against a very good Seattle team. A Seattle team that has a good chance to repeat as MLS Cup champions.
Still several games to be played, but don't discount possible rematch of an MLS Cup final between Toronto and Seattle, but other teams will have something to say about it. Seattle will push it left. Ladero. Nuhu. Rodriguez pass ahead. Here is Ladero. Dempsey. Rodriguez. Seconds left. Roll down. Foul was given there. Or let go, in fact. That's going to do it. Seattle is going on to the conference finals. 2 goals by that man, Clint Dempsey. It was his night, especially in the second half.
It was. Produced a big moment when they needed it. Fantastic individual effort on the goal to be able to cut it back. Then with the left foot, put it into the top corner. And then just his timing at the back post to drift off the shoulder of Jordan Harvey and put the one home that sealed it. On a night where Seattle dominated from the first minute of this game. Vancouver we knew they were going to sit back. We knew they were going to soak it up. They were going to look to play on the counter. But I thought Seattle dealt really well with that and limited any clear opportunities for the Whitecaps.